What if I told you that Bishop Rance Allen's death wasn't what it seemed? That behind the joyful gospel melodies and booming voice was a man silenced for what he was about to expose? A former choir member just came forward with stunning allegations, and they point to a cover-up so deep it could shake the gospel world to its core. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear may completely change how you remember this gospel legend. Bishop Rance Allen was more than just a gospel singer. He was a voice of power, passion, and praise. Known for blending traditional gospel with soul and R&B, his influence stretched far beyond the pulpit. But while fans around the world mourned his passing in 2020, not everyone believed the official story. Recently, a former choir member has come forward with the chilling claim that Bishop Allen's death may have been staged. Yes, you heard that right. Not natural, not accidental, but possibly orchestrated to keep him silent. Silent about what, you ask? Allegations of shady financial dealings, secret gospel label agendas, and powerful pastors working behind the scenes to control the narrative. In today's video, we're diving into these shocking claims. You'll hear what this choir member says really happened, how gospel insiders reacted behind the scenes, and the surprising connection to dark money in the gospel industry. You won't believe who's being implicated and the moves they allegedly made to protect their secrets. This is where it gets interesting, so grab your tea, sit back, and make sure you stay till the end, because we're breaking down every twist in this spiritual scandal that's got everybody whispering. When the news broke on October 31st, 2020, that Bishop Rance Allen had passed away, the gospel community was in shock. According to official reports, he died from complications after a medical procedure at just 71 years old. Tributes poured in. Legends like Kirk Franklin and Donnie McClurrin paid their respects. But in the middle of the morning, something didn't add up, at least not for everyone close to the scene. Behind closed doors, whispers started swirling. Rance looked fine just days before, some said. He had energy, he was still preaching, still singing, others added. Even fans noticed that there was barely any detailed information about what really happened. No photos, no full medical report released to the public, and no funeral open to fans. But then came the real turning point. A woman who claims to be a former choir member and spiritual daughter of Bishop Rance Allen spoke out in a now-deleted Facebook Live. Her voice was shaky, but her words explosive. She said, "Bishop Rance didn't just pass, he knew something. He was about to tell everything, and the people who didn't want him to talk, they made sure he never did." According to her, Bishop Allen was in the final stages of writing a tell-all, one that would have named names, exposed corruption in high places, and called out the exploitation happening inside some of gospel's most respected circles. She didn't give exact names on that live stream, but she dropped enough hints to get people digging. The live was deleted within 24 hours, but not before several screen recordings were captured. And here's where it gets even more disturbing. Multiple fans reported that in the weeks leading up to his death, Bishop Allen was unusually quiet online. His normally active presence had gone silent. His last video was a vague, emotional message about being ready to stand alone if you must. Was he preparing us? Was he warning us? Or was he being watched? According to the former choir member's claims, Bishop Rance Allen wasn't just preparing a tell-all book. He was preparing to call out the entire structure behind the gospel industry. She revealed in follow-up posts and private interviews with smaller YouTube channels that Rance had grown increasingly frustrated in his final years, frustrated with being used, underpaid, and spiritually manipulated. The problem? A tight-knit circle of gospel executives, many with ties to Christian record labels and major megachurches, allegedly control everything from chart rankings to who gets books at the biggest gospel festivals. Here's how the scheme allegedly worked. Artists would sign contracts through faith-based companies that looked legit on the surface, but these contracts included harsh gag clauses, low pay, and pressure to stay silent about label politics. Some pastors even served as silent partners in these labels, funneling tithes and donations into production companies while paying artists crumbs. The choir member claimed Bishop Allen discovered that several gospel stars, some still active today, were being spiritually pimped, forced to play along or risk losing everything. She stated, "He was tired of seeing people anointed but broke, tired of watching gifted artists sell their souls to stay relevant in a system that didn't even honor God anymore." Now, let's be real. We've heard rumors before. Allegations about gospel artists being silenced, stories about praise concerts where backstage deals go down that have nothing to do with worship. But according to this source, Bishop Allen had documents, emails, and financial receipts. He was compiling proof that certain pastors were manipulating both music and money, and that these pastors had ties to shady investors with worldly agendas. One name that kept coming up in fan forums, a certain megachurch leader who has been seen collaborating with gospel acts and secular labels. Someone who was once close to Rance, but mysteriously stopped inviting him to perform after 2018. That same year, Bishop Allen reportedly confided to friends that he felt pressured to shut up or be shut down. By 2019, he had stopped touring as much, cut off public interviews, and only gave short statements through church video streams. Some now say he was being threatened, not just spiritually, but physically. And here's where the heat really starts to rise. The former choir member revealed that just before his death, Bishop Rance Allen had scheduled a private Zoom meeting with 2 gospel label whistleblowers and 2 journalists. That meeting? It never happened. Why not? Because the day before the meeting, Bishop Allen was admitted to the hospital for what they claimed was a routine heart procedure. He never came out. But just when you think that's the deepest part of the rabbit hole, Section 3 reveals something even chillier, the alleged funeral cover-up and what happened to all of Bishop Rance Allen's unpublished material. When a beloved figure like Bishop Rance Allen passes away, fans and followers expect one thing, a proper farewell. But what they got instead was a rushed, limited, and highly controlled send-off that raised more questions than it answered. The funeral service held in his hometown of Toledo, Ohio, was streamed online due to COVID-19 restrictions, or so they said. But even die-hard fans immediately noticed how scripted and edited the stream appeared. There was no casket shown, no wide-angle shots of the body, no live interaction with grieving fans, just a heavily filtered ceremony with pre-recorded footage and quick-cut speeches. Even more bizarre, the replay of the live stream, which many fans had saved or shared, was taken down multiple times across various platforms, including Facebook and YouTube. Entire fan channels that posted clips were flagged or removed, and those who attended privately claimed they were told not to record anything. One former choir singer said on TikTok, "We weren't allowed to get close. It was like we were being watched. Even his brothers looked like they were under pressure." But perhaps the most haunting detail of all, none of Bishop Rance Allen's personal files, music archives, or final sermons have surfaced since his passing. According to the source, he had a laptop that he never let out of his sight. That laptop reportedly contained voice memos, outlines of his exposé, unreleased gospel collaborations, and direct audio messages for people he trusted. That laptop? Gone. The choir member said his house was cleaned out within 48 hours of his death, not by family, but by church-appointed staff who claimed they were acting in the interest of the ministry. When close friends asked where his sermon notes and music drives were, they were told everything was secure, but nothing has been released. Not a single sermon, not a single unpublished track. Even more unsettling, an independent gospel blogger from Atlanta who began posting investigative videos about the Rance Allen situation had their channel demonetized and later deleted without explanation. That blogger claims to have been in contact with someone who saw Rance's files and was planning to release them anonymously. The last thing they said in a video before being shut down was this: they don't want the truth out because if it gets out, it shakes the entire gospel foundation. These are not coincidences. These are patterns. A tightly controlled funeral, disappearing media, silenced voices, and a growing number of people who once stood silent now starting to speak. But in Section 4, we explore the biggest twist of all, an unreleased voicemail Bishop Rance Allen allegedly sent to a close friend just 2 days before he passed. The message? Let's just say it'll send chills down your spine. Just when it seemed like the mystery couldn't deepen any further, a voicemail surfaced, one that many believe was never meant to be public. According to the insider choir member, this message was sent from Bishop Rance Allen to a longtime friend and fellow gospel musician just 2 days before he passed. The friend, who has remained anonymous for their safety, reportedly shared this voicemail privately with 2 gospel insiders who later leaked portions of it in a closed Telegram group. Though the full recording has never been publicly verified, a transcribed snippet has made its way around the gospel community. In the message, Bishop Allen's voice is noticeably weary, not weak, but burdened. His words are slow, deliberate, and full of warning. Here's what that transcript reportedly said. "They think I don't know what's going on, but I see it. I see the snakes. I see the ones in robes hiding behind choirs and